In 2022, one of India's biggest edutech companies spent more on celebrity endorsement rather than on teacher salary. That same year, they raised hundreds of millions of dollars from global investors, not to improve classrooms, but to run aggressive marketing campaigns across cricket stadiums, primetime television, and social media. But behind the bright ads and billion-dollar valuation, students were dropping out, parents were demanding refunds, and the company's own employees were asking whether anyone is checking if the children are actually learning. That company was Byju's, once the crown jewel of India's education boom and the world's most valued edutech startup. At its peak, it was worth more than some public banks. But then came the bad news: financial irregularities, delayed in salaries, mounting losses, layoffs, and lawsuits. Byju's became a warning story for what happens when education stops being about learning and starts being about growth at all costs. But Byju's is not the only example. It is just most visible sign of bigger challenge. Education in India is slowly shifting from a public service to a product to be sold. The change started years before Byju's existed. Coaching centers in Kota turns IIT and medical preparation into a complete factory. Students spent 12 hours a day memorizing formulas and solving the same kind of questions over and over again. And all while paying hefty fees. Private universities and schools too opened across towns with shiny brochures, fake placement numbers, and fees that were something more than a family could afford. Education in India has always been seen as the key to a better life. Even our parents made huge sacrifices, like taking loans, selling jewelries, and even skipping their own medical care to give us access to the best. But the companies saw this desperation as opportunity. Education is no longer just about knowledge, it's about hope. And the hope that could be sold at high price. And Byju's understood this perfectly. It didn't just sell courses, it sold dream. Shah Rukh Khan, Leon Messi, Virat Kohli became faces of the hope. Sales agents were trained like insurance agents, tracking leads and conversion rates instead of whether students were learning or not. Competitors like Unacademy, Vedantu copied the same model: celebrity ads, fear-based marketing, flashy sales, and subscription upsells. Even celebrities and influencers spoke up about it. Actor Sonu Sood criticized how poor students were left out because of rising fees. Entrepreneurs like Ankur Wareku has publicly criticized paid programs to be more about packaging rather than actual skill. YouTuber like Dhruv Rathi made videos showing how Byju's sales teams targeted families with high-pressure calls. The result is an ecosystem where the student is the product, not the main focus. As edutech growth slowed down, a new type of premium school started emerging. These schools target the urban elite who want faster, better, and more practical outcomes for career in startup and business. Now, one of the most talked about example is MISA School of Business. Now, MISA is not a typical MBA. It was started by Harvard and Kellogg's alumni in 2023. It promises to train the founders and leaders of tomorrow in a 12 to 18 month program that cost nearly 15 lakhs. Now, instead of normal lectures, MISA works like a mix of an accelerator and MBA. Students work on real startup projects, pitch investors, and learn directly from unicorn founders. The main point is simple: no thick textbooks, no semester exams, and no old case studies. Classes are less important than network, mentorship, and hands-on experience students going to get. MISA marketing is more like tech startup than a school. Sleek videos, LinkedIn campaigns, and posts from alumni who joined top startups, making every placement feel like a brand moment. For young Indians who want to grow fast, MISA offered a shortcut to the startup world. You can access to founders, investors, and high-end growth companies, something traditional MBAs, even IIMs rarely provide. Masters Union in Gurgaon works in the similar way. It charges over 20 lakhs and combines business education with startup incubation. Its faculty includes top executive and guest speakers from Fortune 500 companies. Palakhia University in Punjab focuses on technology, entrepreneurship, and leadership, backed by founders from InfoEdge and HCL. And internationally, Minerva University in the US offers a global particular curriculum that teaches critical thinking and real-world problem solving, running more like a startup than a college. Beyond education, these schools teaches more about exclusivity, speed, and relevance. They target students who do not trust traditional degree but still want recognition, mentorship, and connections. The business model is clear: high fees, lean infrastructure, and high value image. These models are tempting. Why spend 2 years learning theory in crowded classrooms when you can build ventures, pitch to investors, and gain mentors within a year? But there are few questions. Critiques saying that these schools increase inequality. If you cannot pay 15 to 20 lakh, you are going to miss the networks and opportunities sold as essential for success. Placement numbers are often self-reported and alumni stories are used as marketing. Even the benefits are debated. MISA alumni report amazing experience like startup funding, mentorship, and high-paying jobs at unicorns. But those who don't get such outcomes quickly feel the pressure after spending large amount of money. In the world where education is luxury product, the risk is on the students. This is very similar to EdTech boom. MISA and Masters Union sell hope and access to elite network. Both focus heavily on branding and storytelling. Now MISA's marketing is like Byju's early days. Every student success story is posted online to attract the next batch of students. LinkedIn is full of posts like from student to funded founder in 12 months. Thanks to MISA, just like Byju's viral achievement posts. And the trend is global. Minerva University in the US has similar model: global students, particular curriculum, and high fees. Lambda School, now Boom Tech, taught coding through income sharing agreement, promising pay after you succeed. But students complain about low placement rates and inflated numbers. And the pattern is very clear here. Education is being packaged and sold like a product. MISA and similar schools show a big shift in learning. Students are no longer the main focus. Investors, branding, and marketing image matters more. Success stories are achievements. Network opportunities are sold as part of curriculum. Tools meant to improve learning like mentorship, live projects, and digital platforms are also used to make money. And yet, they solve the real problem. Traditional MBAs are often slow, outdated, and disconnected from the real market. MISA's hand-on mentor-driven approach is practical and useful as well. But as Byju showed, the danger is over-commercialization. When education becomes the product and the goal is scale, brand, and exclusivity, learning becomes second. The bigger point is clear. Education is becoming like a membership club. You pay to belong, not just to learn. MISA, Masters Union, Palaksh, and Minerva all sell belonging, access, and mentorship. Your peers and mentors are as valuable as lessons themselves. Knowledge is alone no longer enough. Connections and speed are now part of the product. But the irony is that these schools, like Byju's, are praised for innovation while quietly increasing inequality. Those with money get the fast career, those without money stay in traditional schools with slower path. Social mobility is linked to what you can afford. The main purpose of education, to teach, inspire, and create opportunity, is now filtered through profit. MISA alumni, many running funded startup now working as unicorns, say their experience was life-changing. But even they admit it's as much about the network as the knowledge. This shows a big lesson. Education in India and globally is now no longer just about learning. It's about market positioning, brand, access, and exclusivity. Byju's, once the pride of Indian edutech boom, is now fighting to survive. In 2025, it launched a Byju's 3.0 plan, promising AI-powered lessons and return to the real teaching. But behind the scenes, it's selling companies at huge losses, facing court cases, over missing money, and laying off staff and struggling with massive debt. The brand that once had Leon Messi in its ad is now trying to rebuild trust. And this trust isn't just Byju's problem. It's a sign of a bigger challenge. This same growth first and learning later model that pushed Byju's to the edge is now being used to expensive new schools like MISA and Master Union. The prices are higher, the students richer, but the idea is the same. Sell access and status first and let education come second. If Byju's fall was a warning, these new schools are the next chapter. The name may change, the fees may rise, but the pattern stays the same. Education is being sold like a dream, and dreams have a price. But the risk is that in chasing success, we forget to actually learn.